Hello and welcome to page 15 of my graphic novel comic book Found Earth. Neat little intro. I'm still digging the way that this program is set up. I think I'm getting things timed out. This one runs a little longer than I would have liked because I skipped over part of the video files when I went to arrange this, and so I just kind of added it on there, and so it's just a tad longer. So I like this nifty little page counter thing here. This is nice and it's fancy, and so I think I'm going to keep that because it helps keep track of, we're getting closer to the destination, which is the end of the story. And so for some reason, I don't know why, I decided to start off with my mechanical pencil, which goes against everything that I've been saying since the beginning of drawing this and making videos. I have no idea why I did this. Maybe I couldn't find my carpenter's pencil. I don't know. Maybe I was feeling particularly detail-oriented for this page, because there is a lot of detail in it. You have all these large figures of the robots and shadows and depth and like a rocky background. So sometimes you have to erase, and sometimes I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about creators and how to do this stuff, and I think that I've got a fairly decent idea that I'm going in the right direction with this. I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it. This is kind of how I imagine comic books are made, so I'm making them this way, which I guess is okay because I'm coming out with pages and there's a story and I'm achieving what I need to achieve to do this, so I guess everything's okay. Here I needed to work out a pose. I couldn't quite get it right on the main page, so I doodled it on the little side sheet of paper there where I have the thumbnail for the whole page. And so now I have something to look off of, and I can get it right on the final page there. It's always interesting. Growing up, I didn't know how this was done. I thought they just started with pens and just went from there, and they were just that awesome. I didn't know it was a whole deal where you did a thumbnail and you studied anatomy, and well, I figured you studied anatomy, but I didn't know there was like a pencil and a thumbnail and a version and a version and a version and a version that goes through steps. I just thought they whipped out these inks and then colored them. Haha. That's not how that's done at all. And so at a very young age, I learned that you got to go through the process. You got to build up the pencils and through the thumbnails, and then develop the pencils even further and go through and put it on the page there, and then somebody else does it, or the inker does it, whether it's this penciler or somebody else. I don't know. This last panel here is one of my favorite panels for this book. Just the frustration and the shouting to the heavens and frustration. I think it's one of the more expressive moments in the book. So yeah, even when this is really sped up, and then I think I was really young and little, and I was looking at some of these sped up videos, and I was like, how are they drawing that fast? And I don't know. I'm learning as I go, and I'm applying what I'm learning. And now I look at the speed. I like the speed up videos, the time-lapse videos, I guess they're called. They're enjoyable to watch as long as they're short enough not to lose the attention span of a goldfish, which apparently everybody has the attention span of now, because of cell phones and instant gratification on the internet. Yeah, watch that lower right panel there. That's the that's what I'm most proud of on this one. Again, this, we're looking at hours of work here, and it's all coming together pretty quickly. We're only like 5 minutes into it, and it's about a 14-minute video. I didn't know that I was going to speed it up that fast, and I wasn't thinking about that part of it when I did this. That's why you get the blur of the page coming towards the camera, because when in the original videos that are out on YouTube, on my Dream of Art 1 channel on YouTube, that goes at real time, and so you can actually read what is happening there. But with Patreon, you can just scroll up or scroll down the page and see the finished product. Sometimes with this manual camera, it gets a little fuzzy. It gets out of focus. So if it does start to get out of focus again, I'll fix it eventually. I'll look up at the computer screen and fix it. My hopes for this, publish it, get it out there. Ideally, I would like to go through Image, but if I have to, I'll self-publish it. There you go, I focused it. Ideally, I would go through Image, but if I can't do that, then by all means, I'll try other presses and other companies, and if it comes to it, I'll self-publish it and get it out there and see what I can work out. The vision that I have for it is to sell it as a coloring book and as a graphic novel, and that way people can color in and fill in all the color, fill in all the shades and the colors and so on and so forth, and it's something fun for kids to do, to get back involved in comic books, because comic books are really, really mature now. I mean, mature in that they're for adults. Anymore, it seems like writers and creators are creating comics for people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and above, and they're forgetting the joy that they got from acquiring comic books as teenagers or as younger than teenagers. And so they're putting some of these really mature, complex themes in these things, and they forget. It seems like they've forgotten the fun. And so I think this would be a perfect opportunity to have something that has a story, that has a beginning, middle, and end. If I wanted to, I could carry it on further and do a second and third graphic novel, maybe a fourth, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure I want this particular story to be my life's work. I have multiple other books written. Maybe if this gets to be like the career, I can do a little bit of everything. But yeah, most comic books aren't written for all ages anymore, and so I want to get into writing these stories for all ages. Maybe harken back to some of the 40s and 50s superhero stuff. Maybe do some fairy tale things. Do just a little bit of everything that harkens back to what nostalgia calls a simpler time. I realized that life was complex as it is now back then, maybe with just less technology. But I want to... a Western. I have a story written for a Western that I want to do. And it's just simple. It's full of archetypes, and the story is straightforward, and it doesn't uh, it's not there for deep thought. It's there to just entertain you for a while. It's like a spaghetti western. You know, the hero strolls into town where the villains have taken over, and he saves the day, or saves the town, or meets the damsel, or saves the ranch, or I don't have it fully fleshed out right now, but it's that kind of thing. Yeah, see, that works out better when it's in slow motion. But yeah, I imagine I used the mechanical pencil at first because I was feeling particularly detail oriented. I don't know. But I did what I did. So I love that little squinty-eyed sideways look. That's priceless right there. But this is just a collection of comic strips that just got expanded out into comic book form and then out into a graphic novel. No, novella. It's 98 pages long. I'm not entirely sure how long a graphic novel is. So it's a short little thing, and it comes out, and you can read it and share it with your, family and friends, and you can put it out on your coffee table if you still have a coffee table. Do people still have coffee tables? And you don't have to worry about who sees the cover because it doesn't have, skin tight spandex and scantily clad women all over it, and kids can see it. And if they want to read it, you can read it for bedtime, or you can read it in the middle of the day to them before nap, or they can just read it by themselves, and you don't have to worry about what they're getting fed. I really like these pens. These pens are fun. And weird shaped panels. I like weird shaped panels. Sometimes it's good to just have square, 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 square all over the place. But I like to break up the monotony with the odd triangle or maybe a circular shape somewhere. But this right here is my favorite panel in the whole thing. I mean, how many times has somebody come to the conclusion that you've been trying to tell everybody about, and taking it for their own credit, not even acknowledging that you have said anything in that along those lines, and you want to scream to the heavens and be melodramatic. And yeah, it's again, go to the Dream of Art 1 at YouTube, or the youtube.com/Dream of Art 1, and check out the long videos. You can fast forward past all the other stuff and check out this panel because this one's really good. Yeah, but a lot of my creations I want to do just stuff for anybody. That way it can be enjoyed and carried on. I don't think I'm necessarily to the caliber of, like, Jeff Smith with Bone, but it's a story and it's entertaining and you'll chuckle at parts, and there's parts that the adults will chuckle at, and there's parts that the kids hopefully will chuckle at, or at the very least they'll just enjoy coloring it in. But leave questions on the Patreon account, and I'll answer them on the next videos, or I'll write back, or as best I can answer any questions that you have. I won't give away the ending though, so don't bother asking. But this page was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you put up with listening to me talk, and I hope I shared something interesting and you were entertained, and that you're enjoying this story and the artwork, and I hope that you stay and share this with your friends and family and anybody that will listen. Thanks for watching, really. Thank you to Scott Snyder for his support on the Patreon page, and if you want to support it, go right ahead. There's the buttons there on the page, and I will update again next week. All right. Well, have a good week, and we will talk to you next Sunday.